What do you love the most about this show?
This cast. This cast. We found a phenomenal ensemble of actors pulling from the four corners of the globe, and the buy-in has been total. You know, and that isn't just the main cast and the reoccurring. That goes all the way to our background artists and our crew. There's a sense of gratitude that permeates the set. Everybody's really happy to be working in LA and being able to go home to our families at the end of the day. And there's a sense that what we're doing has some meaning to it or relevance to their own families and lives, and that feels good. So it's been wonderful to create this little microcosm bubble of creativity and live it kind of uninterrupted since August until you guys all showed up. And now we get to share our little experiment with the world, which feels a little fragile.
What do you hope that the audience takes away from the series?
I think a respect for emergency workers and all that they do and how much they care and how much they put their own selves and psychological and emotional well-being on the line, and they just keep going. They don't stop. It's an emergency. It's always an emergency. It's really unreal what these people live through in one day of work. And that's what's cool about the show, is to see the constant emotional, physical, and mental pressure that these people go through in one shift.
What do you know now about frontline workers that maybe you didn't know before?
It's really interesting. So both my parents are frontline workers. My mom is an ER nurse. She was an ER nurse for 40 years and retired now. My dad is a paramedic, lifelong paramedic.
Wow.
And so I actually grew up knowing healthcare workers quite well, but from a different vantage point. Like I was the kid they came home to and sort of left what happened at work. They left it at work and came home and just sort of asked me about my day at school or whatever was going on with me. And so like this has been a real, it's just been a real blessing, because I'm seeing their lives. I'm seeing my parents' lives from a different perspective. In that they would come home, they would ask me what was going on in school or whatever, and it's tough to imagine that maybe an hour prior to that, they lost a life, they lost a patient, or they were plugging a bullet hole or whatever, and learning about that process of compartmentalization and what these healthcare workers have to do in order to protect themselves and show up and do their jobs every day, that has been a revelation, for sure.
What a meaningful and important story to be a part of, especially in light of the fact that you joined this extraordinary legacy of powerful storytelling from John Wells.
Yeah.
And when you got that call to say that you were going to do this show and to get to work with someone like him, what went through your mind?
I love when you get to work with a creative team that is so passionate about the story they're telling.
Yeah.
And this is not just like, let's make a TV show, let's make some money. It's like, no, we're here to say something. Like we have a purpose. And I mean, it was evident in the first 2 weeks of medical boot camp. He was there every day. We all were together and with the doctors, and he worked so closely with those doctors. And hearing from everyone their firsthand accounts of being in an emergency room, being in these high-stress situations. I mean, John has been there, lived there, has immersed himself in it, and seeing how much it affects him, the horrible, traumatic things that he's seen, but also seeing the beauty that comes out of it. It's really special that we get to be a part of that and work under people who really care about the story they're telling.
And this show followed you all over the course of one single day.
Yes.
Right? Every episode addresses one single day. So tell us about the premise.
Yeah, so I remember getting the script, and I remember realizing it's set in real time. And I just remember thinking, if I don't get this, I feel like I'm gonna die, because it's so cool. It's such a new shift in the medical genre. I mean, it's something I've never seen on TV before, and I always knew I wanted to be part of something that was new and exciting. And so when I got it, I was just so over the moon. And we do our best to stay true to the continuity of it. Every episode is an hour in real time, and it's a little hard to shoot because there's so many moving pieces, and you have to remember where you were at the end of each scene. And then, you know, it's like 4 months later, you remember that you maybe can't stand close to a character because in showtime you've only had, what, like 3 hours since you like fought. so you're probably not friends.
Right.
So it's sometimes hard to remember like all of the threads, but I'm just so grateful I'm part of something that's this innovative. I just think it's awesome.
What have you learned about frontline workers that you didn't know before?
I mean, from Whitaker's point of view, I mean, I think it's just how much of a people person you have to be, and setting boundaries, and you know, you just realize how hard it is not to get attached to your patients and things like that, and just sort of the trauma that can come along with that.
So what do you love the most so far about the experience of working on the show?
Oh, it's so wild having like doctors here.
You mean real life doctors participating?
So many doctors.
Behind the scenes,
yeah, real doctors all the time, and you can ask any questions. How would I feel about this? How many times would I have done an IO? How many times would I have seen this? Would I have seen a video of this or a photo of this? You know, like our third year med students quick at this. Oh, they're slow at this, but they're really quick at this. Great, good to know. Like questions that you can try to Google, but like there are some things that you just have to interview somebody for. Which I've got people I interviewed back home in Australia, but like being able to be here and consistently get a script and go, oh, I'll have questions about that, and the emotional reality of that, and having like 4 people on set you can talk to about it.
I've been hearing from many of your cast members about a medical boot camp that you all participated in.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I need some highlights from you.
I think it's incredible what we can do. No one should let us do it. But we can all know how to put in chest tubes, and we even know thoracotomy and crazy stuff. But again, we shouldn't be asked to do it for real.
How many times have you had to practice some of the words so that they, right? So that they sound like you?
I mean, a lot of the words are Greek and Latin.
Right.
And so it's tough because you're also doing something you've never done before and saying these Greek and Latin words that you don't really know what it means at the same time.
What do you know now about frontline workers that you didn't know before?
I didn't know how fast-paced it was, how much your split-second decisions matter. I didn't know how to intubate, and now I feel like I know how to intubate, though nobody should have let me intubate. But they did send me to medical school for 2 solid weeks.
What about reuniting with John Wells?
You know, like I said, I've been looking the last 15 years to find the feeling that I had in the first 15, and the reason I wasn't ever able to find it or replicate it is because I haven't worked for him in 15 years. It starts with him.